packet for an Aetna National Fitness Campaign. They do fitness courts in communities with a substantial grant into that, and then it'd be a requirement for us to find, if we decide to move forward with this, to find the other grant dollars to complete it. Again, there's some basic information in that. This is one that, under the public service, since it's parks, fall into that for a complete briefing as we move that up through the council for consideration. And then USDA has just released a new grant process or opportunity for walking trails. And as that is one of the larger topics as a whole for the Chatham Reimagined efforts, we'll be working towards to see if we're can qualify for any of those grants and then bring those opportunities to the council. Again, water meters are good except for the Hargrave baseball field. That's the only one. We're just waiting for delivery of that. Hames project on our water improvement project is complete for just about everything. We're still waiting on the new weir gates for the freshwater intake. That is hopefully will come in into September, October, maybe November, depending on what happens with tariffs and the slowdown of delivery of items. This is the second set we've ordered because the first set was way out there to the end of the year. And then they have one fire hydrant left on all their valves and fire hydrant installation. That's the one that was removed when it got hit down off of just past the railroad bridge on the Columbia Forest side and was never replaced. And when you go down there and look and see where the fire hydrants are, you're either way up the hill or you're way down the hill by the car wash. So we need to get that one installed back in to maintain our readiness for fires down there. Our finished water report for May was an averaging 0.51 million gallons a day or 15.92 million gallons for the month. That's a slight uptick from the year before, which is pretty normal with our summertime use. We've produced a total of 217.08 million gallons since January. We are permitted for 1.3 million gallons a day, so that 0.51 is well under our permitted items. We do have on the Infomark side, we have plenty of items that are getting ready to be in the works, so I'll let them talk about those. Some new personnel on their side. Our big event is we have a sewer line that's exposed in a stormwater runoff creek at the bottom of Polk Street. Again, it's not ruptured, it's not washed out yet, but it's been exposed to the fact that it can be. Malcolm has a plan and is just waiting on the final cost from a contractor to get in that and reshore that and redirect the creek like it's supposed to, so it won't be washing out that sewer line. We talked about the on the Samuel Harris Lane. There were questions about what the actual flow was. We had put a test meter on that last week with Beacon Tech came down there, and that is running right on the cost. So we know what there was one factor that was set up had nothing to do with the data transfer that we had to adjust by a couple of decimals to get it wired in tight. But we have that, what the box is reading is what that pipe is pumping. So that's a good reference on what's being done there. On Reimagine Chatham, so we talked about, we have in 2 weeks, maybe the end of this week, but I'm thinking that they'll wait until the beginning of next week, our contractor, Haynes Brothers, will start the cleanup of the entrance of the railroad bridge siding. So they are ready to start on that. I'm waiting for Cruise Construction to give us the start time on the pre-approved paving of Silas Moore parking up there. So they're just waiting to find a time in their schedule to start that paving. That's another partnership with various foundations in town. And the pickleball courts hopefully are going to open up the end of this month and be all good. And then we'll find a time working with Chatham First for a grand opening and hoopla and all the good stuff. Hopefully sometime that's not so hot that people just melt water out there. So we'll get that going. There's also, and for really all the citizens, there is a board, as Heidi talked about, out here on the stand, and there's little stickies out there. These are just some ideas that have been brought up and thrown out. If you would please stop before you leave tonight, if you haven't already, look at those, figure out, especially council members also look and see what are some of your priorities that you're interested in. Put a sticky on it. You can put a sticky on one, you can put a sticky on every one if you want. If there's something there that is not on that board that you would like on there, please grab a yellow square and the pin is there and put those ideas on there. The more ideas, more engagement we have, the better as we move to that next phase with multiple civic organizations for projects in the town. We responded to 3 zoning questions and 3 contractor questions over the month. We sold 1 pre-need and we marked 1 gravesite for the funeral homes. VDOT didn't have any open work orders, but they closed 2 that were out there before. There's 1 building permit approved on the water line replacement. And there were 2 business licenses applied for, 1 for a contractor and 1 for other, which cover anything from a vendor at the farmer market making solid stuff to a food truck.
Question and then a comment, Madam Mayor. Well, question / comment. You mentioned that board out there, though. I saw it early once in town hall, though. You want to bring it in here, though, next to, you're still stupid to see it, though, or?
I figure once they go out, you'll keep them from tying it up in here, and if you want to close session, you'll give them the opportunity.
I just don't want the citizens to miss it, though. And then a comment, Madam Mayor. Your last comment you made about the July 4th events, I agree they're successfully completed. Thanks for all the work you did as well, such as being the MC for the parade and the work during the Field of Honor and the fireworks too. Appreciate all your work there, though. I know there's a lot of town Rotary aspect of that too, though, but still a town.
A lot of town supporting that. It was good effort all around.
Appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions for the town manager?
Yes, on page 5. Homeowners, I understand there's a homeowner down Davis Road who is building a house and it's put in water line, but we put in a 2-inch, and he doesn't have the pressure that he needs. What's the town gonna do about that?
So that original line was a 5/8, which is the standard home line. It was put in from the bottom of the hill up, and it measured the proper pressure at the meter, but the moment that they tapped off the meter, then the pressure drew down. Probably because it was put in at the bottom of the hill, vice the top. He's been given multiple options to look at. One is a pump that is off the shelf. You buy it for like $200 from Lowe's or a plumbing supply. You put it in your house and it grabs that water, pulls it in, boosts the pressure to whatever you want to set it, anywhere from about 75 to 150 PSI, depending on the size of the pump you buy. So that's one option he's been provided. He's been provided an option that we can tie into the top of the hill with a larger, a 1-inch or 1.5-inch line and meter that comes down. The issue with that is where that line is located, on the other side and the depth of it coming down that hill, it's buried further than what Infomark can legally dig to, because I've got that 4-foot limit. And they have to cut the road, which means they have to have a VDOT certificate, contractor certificate to cut. So they went out and got a contractor's quote for that, presented to it. It went from $200 to about $15,000. And so he was provide that quote, the homeowner was, and so if you can find, here's the scope. If you can find a contractor with a better price, and you want to do that, you can do that. And all we have to do is visualize and make sure that the meters are correct.
Will the town pay this $15,000?
No, because all of our connections, it matters not what our connections, every one of our connections say, whether you're in town or out of town, if it's in town, it's $1,000 tap fee, or the actual cost, if it exceeds.
Can he dig his own well?